great fight. You know, and I mean, I do feel bad for Bird for taking a lot of heat now. 118, 110. That was pretty widespread, I have to admit. But look, this is boxing. She's, like I said, a very competent judge and has been judging for many years. And Las Vegas is one of the best commissions in the world. So I personally felt that that boxing won today. I think boxing, it was a win-win-win for everyone. I think this is what the sport needed, a fight like this with Triple G and Canelo.
We have Bob Bennett here now from the Athletic Commission, so I think if you have any questions for him, we could ask him now. That way he doesn't have to stay for the rest of the conference if you have any questions for Mr. Bennett.
Tom, straight back here. I'd like Tom and also Oscar and maybe Triple G to address this question. Like Oscar was saying, you and Canelo put on an absolutely fantastic fight, maybe a Fight of the Year candidate. Unfortunately, we're sitting at a press conference talking about a bad scorecard. What do you think about that as far as the way the public reacts? They see a great fight, everybody's excited, and then they hear that scorecard and they're disgusted. Bob, I talked to you already. I'd like to hear from Oscar and Tom and Triple G.
That's what I just asked him.
Okay, no, I got you.
You heard me say it. 118, 110 is not, you know, people are scratching their heads. People are confused. What I mentioned was that I did see Canelo win 7-5. It was a close fight, yes it was. And I do have to admit, in front of Bob here, that 118, 110, and Bob is not the judge, but 118, 110, yes, it was a bit widespread. But what I am hearing, chatter and social media, I'm hearing, look, it was a close fight. It was a great fight, actually, because we haven't seen this type of action in such a long time. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I'd like to hear Tom's perspective on that. Just that instead of just only talking about the greatness of the fight, we're talking about scorecards that people disagree with severely.
No, you're right, Dan. It was a terrific fight. Both fighters need to get credit for fighting each other and putting on that type of performance. But, you know, if she had scored it, or if that judge had scored it, that same score for Triple G, you know, it wouldn't have been that way either. So, you know, scoring it that wide for Canelo, I think it takes away from a lot of the performance of the two fighters in the ring. And frankly, it's just not good for the sport of boxing. Luckily, the other two judges, you know, it was close. It could have gone either way, but I mean, I personally had it similar to the way HBO had it, and we had Gennady winning by a few rounds. But you know, like I said before, he's a champion, and he'll be happy to defend his titles many more times. Did you want to also get Gennady's perspective on that? Okay.
Then, no, I saw computer, you know, all total punches. I saw reaction, people reaction, you know. And for this, the Dodgers, you know, it's terrible. For me, it's terrible, you know, just, this is not correct, you know, this is very bad for sport.
That's fine. What's your question?
This is for Tom.
What?
Would you guys prefer to have a rematch in the Garden?
You know, that really depends. This was Gennady's first time up here in Las Vegas. I don't think it's the location so much as, you know, the judges. We think Kenny Bayless did a terrific job, a fine job between two combatants that were throwing big punches, and I think Kenny broke them correctly at the right times. He didn't let either fighter hold, and he kept the action flowing. So we have to give him a lot of credit. Gennady's fought in Madison Square Garden 6 times. He always feels very comfortable there. But when we made this fight, when I was negotiating with Oscar, Gennady told me, doesn't matter where the fight is, just get me the ring and get me Canelo, and he'll take the fight. So I'm sure it'll be the same attitude that he has for
at home, and one judge saw it 10 rounds to 2. I think what we want, sir, and I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt.
No,
I'm just
not at all.
asking, what will be done about this, because it's not the first time? Is there a plan to work with some of these judges to find out what they're missing that millions of other people are seeing? Because neither fighter won more than 8 rounds tonight. That's all I'm asking, sir. Just 10 rounds to 2 is just a little too wide. A lot of people here are scared to say what I'm saying. I might lose a press credential for the rematch for saying this, but I'm asking what millions of fans, I'm doing my job, because a lot of people want me to ask these questions that a lot of people here are scared to ask. I just want to know what will be done. Is there a plan?
Yeah, of course there's a plan. I'll go over the fight with Adelaide round by round. She'll have to articulate to me what she saw, how she saw it, why she scored each round the way she did, and then we'll continue to move forward from there. There's not one person sitting in this audience that, in whatever their profession is, haven't had a bad night. She was off her mark tonight. So we will take appropriate action. We'll go over the fight. We'll look at it round by round, like I said, and we'll continue to move forward. But by and large, I can tell you we train very hard here. We prepare for the fights. I do a lot of background before I make my recommendations to the chairman and the commissioners for the officials. And unfortunately, and I'm responsible for it, that, Adelaide had a bad night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Not at all. My pleasure. I should be asked those questions.
I just wanted to say we're going to have just one more question for Gennady, because he needs to go back and take the rest of his tests. Yeah, so we'll do Chris's question.
Just Gennady, for Gennady and Abel, you guys had a lot of confidence coming into this fight that you could control it, that you would win comfortably. It seemed like when you were talking before the fight. For both of you, did Canelo surprise you in any way? Anything that he was able to do that you didn't think he was going to be able to do?
I thought he ran a little more than I expected. But like I said before the fight, the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for both guys, and we were going to wear him down as we did. That's why he was running. and we were going to win a fight going away by maybe 3 points, 4 points. I said that to all of you, or knock him out in the late rounds. But I expected him to tire out and to run like that, and for us to win it by 4 points, which is what I think we did.
Not a lot, Chris. Just he talked too much before fight. He said he's true Mexican man. Just I told him I bring Mexican style. I want a true fight, close distance, He knows he need only decision, only 12 rounds. He moved every round, moving, not stay, just. It is a surprise. He moving, he not stay close to me, not front to me.
So with that, we'll turn it back over to
one more question.
Tom, back here, behind you.
How you guys doing? Coach Anthony here with Behind the Gloves. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Gennady Golovkin and Abel Sanchez. Thank you to Golden Boy for putting on a great card. My scorecard was 116-112 for Canelo, so I don't feel like it was a robbery. It could be 115-113. So my question to Abel is, because Abel said that Danny Jacobs is the second best middleweight in the division, do you still feel that way, or do you feel that Canelo Alvarez actually proved that he may be the best, or in your opinion, the second best in the division?
I think him and Danny are very close together. I think Danny fought a little harder than Canelo. Canelo just ran a little too much today, but Canelo should be considered up there in the top 3, yes.
So with that, we're going to wrap up Gennady's portion. We're going to turn it back over to Oscar. We just want to thank Golden Boy. We want to thank the MGM and T-Mobile. I mean, it was a terrific event. I don't think one judge's scorecard should affect the fight. I want to give Bob Bennett a lot of credit, because a lot of people wouldn't come up to address the media like that represent the Athletic Commission. So we want to give them credit for that also. I want to again thank MGM, and our stay up here was good in Las Vegas. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
She had a bad night. You guys did a great job. Take care.
Canelo will be here in 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes. Well, you heard both guys in the ring being asked if they would fight each other again. I mean, these guys are competitors. They obviously, both guys didn't agree with the decision. And I have to say it again, the 118-110, I don't understand. I really don't. And like I said, Bird is a very competent judge, but I just do not understand 18-110. Guys, I'm with you guys. 118-110 is what's going on here. But I did have, and that's my opinion, and I'm not a judge. I had Canelo winning 7-5. Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Tu comentario de la pelea, pero en español, por favor, lo que estabas comentando sobre las puntuaciones de los jueces.
Sí, yo pensé que sí era una pelea cerrada. Yo tenía a Canelo ganando 7-5, es mi opinión. Yo no soy juez. Pero 18-10, eso la verdad que no lo entiendo. Yo no. La pelea estaba muy cerrada para que Bird, la jueza, tenga a Canelo ganando por tantos puntos. Eso no, para mí era una pelea muy cerrada, pero en donde yo vi a Canelo ganar. Sí. Yeah. About 8 minutes, guys.
Chris, I got you. Eric, Oscar.
Yeah. Oscar, I'm just curious, what power, if any, does a promoter have in influencing whether a judge is on or not on a fight? In other words, if there's a judge you don't like next May, do you have any power to have that judge knocked off?
Look, I've been a fighter myself, okay, and I've been involved in these types of scores, okay, in my career, where I don't agree with them, where I'm not happy with them. So obviously you would think that as a promoter now, you want what's best for boxing, right? I can assure you, there's no influence whatsoever. I'm as shocked as you guys are. 118, 110. I really am. 118, 110, come on. I understand 114, 114, 115, 113. Either way, I understand it. 118, 110, but I can assure you, there's no influence whatsoever.
No, I don't think you misunderstood. I'm more wondering, if you see a judge that you don't like on the net on a fight,
right?
Can you influence it all? Can you say to the commission, I don't want that judge on there?
I have Eric, my president, who actually went through the process of picking the judges and what judges we didn't like and what judges we did like. So let him explain it to you.
So I'll explain the process for you. About 2 weeks ago, both sides got a list of officials. And it's always the top officials here in Nevada. The officials with the most experience. And Bob Bennett does his due diligence and he calls Tom Loeffler and he says, you know, do you have any objections? Tell me now. And he did the same with us. We didn't have any objections whatsoever to any of them. And it's all the judges that do all the big fights here in Vegas. All of Floyd's fights, all of Canelo's fights, any other fights here. And the same thing happened with Tom Loeffler. I didn't know of any objections. And then he makes his recommendations, he being Bob Bennett, and then they submit them to us. And that was in the commission meeting, and you can voice your concerns. Both sides were on the commission call for the meeting, and they picked the officials. They picked the referee, they picked the judges. We had absolutely nothing to say. We said, look, we know all three judges. We're fine with it. They're the ones with the most experience. And the same goes for their side. If they have an objection, they can make it. I wasn't aware of any objections that they made with the officials. So there was enough time for both sides to make an argument and to, you know, not agree with any of the officials.
Have you ever had an objection to an official in a fight?
Yeah, we did. It was for the Maidana side, and it was one of the referee. We didn't agree with the referee, and we made the commission aware of it. And that's when Maidana fought against Floyd Mayweather, the first fight.
Were you able to have that referee?
He wasn't chosen.
He wasn't chosen.
No,
okay.
He wasn't chosen. But we
so
brought up our concerns.
You feel like a promoter does have some significant influence in...
You make your objections, but you have to have support for it, you know? But I mean, I just want to say one thing, guys. This event was a huge event. Everything leading up to this promotion was a great thing. It was a huge event. It was very, very successful. I think it delivered. I hope you guys feel that the fight delivered. It was a good fight. If you guys are going to do your stories all about this one card, I think it's short-sighted. But it's up to you guys. If you guys want to write about that, that's great. But I think that this was great for boxing. It was a great night of boxing. I think both fighters delivered, whether you think Triple G won or Canelo won. It was a great event. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys write about that also.
Eric,
I hope you can answer in Spanish. Do you feel that this judging stole that this night from you guys? Could you have a 30 million gate? We're waiting for the pay-per-view numbers, which I think are going to be great. So do you think this judging is stealing something from you as a promotion? One of the biggest nights for you guys as promoters.
I mean, it's up to you guys. I think if that's what the media is going to write about, yes, then you guys are going to allow that. You know, you said it yourself. You know, Scotty's there. We broke a record for attendance here tonight. It's the biggest attendance ever for the T-Mobile Arena. Yeah, it's new, but I mean, to get 22,000 people into an arena, that's pretty impressive. You know, I believe we broke a record for the closed circuit. I'm not sure. I was told that. We would have to look into it. Okay, but anyway, I mean, it was just very successful night. It's the fight that you guys asked for. It's the fight that we gave you guys. Everybody did their job. I'm very proud of our team at Golden Boy Promotions. Everybody worked very hard this entire week to deliver. I'm very proud of the T-Mobile, of the MGM. Everybody did their job. Tom Loeffler and his team, we worked very, very hard to deliver this great event. And I think it was a great event. And if you guys don't feel that, then that's fine. You know, you're entitled to not feel that. But to make this all about one judge, I think it's short-sighted.
This is actually for Bernard. Bernard, rise and shine, wake up, V-hop over here. Hey, wanted to get your thoughts on the fight, and then secondly, on Canelo's performance specifically.
First of all, I think the fight was what it was. It was a fight back and forth. There was some adjustments that both guys made, and they gave the fans what they wanted. At one time, they threw punches at each other for like maybe 20 seconds, which is like, you know, all day in boxing when it's in the 8th or 9th round and they're going back and forth. Canelo performance, compared to some of the writers and some of the, you know, fans that I run into, Canelo handled the Grand Reaper very well. And when that happened again, it will be much easier, I believe. But that's another story. I think that, as Oscar said and Eric said, this fight, the middleweight division, one of the reasons I got a tuxedo on is because I know how significant it is to their history and the history of a division that I was part of for 12 years. And so I seen an excellent fight tonight. I seen a fight with two guys wanted to be the best and undisputed and represent it going forward. And, you know, we just got to get over what the controversy is or what the disagreement is. But at the end of the day, no one, I believe, in this building, they have the right, can say that they didn't enjoy the fight itself. Take everything else to the side. We're going to deal with that one way or the other. But the fight itself wasn't a failure.
Okay, guys, he's walking out now, so he's on his way. Thank you very much. Like Eric said, you guys are amazing, the press, everyone, and I'm still gonna say it. I was in shock. I'm in shock. 118, 110 is a shocker. All right, can we give Canelo at least a hand of applause? I mean, come on, he gave us a great fight, right? Saúl Canelo Álvarez. All right, shoot away.
Bueno, Primero que nada quiero agradecerles a todos el apoyo que siempre brindaron para esta pelea y pues muy contento por lo que sucedió hoy.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for all the support that you gave this fight, and I'm very happy with what we all saw tonight.
Muchas gracias, de verdad.
Question for Canelo. Canelo, this is the most I have seen you move in a fight. Was that your plan going in, or was that something that kind of came to you as the fight began?
Sí, era el plan de pelea. Era el plan que teníamos, pelear en medio del ring. En ocasiones me dio la pauta para poder estar en las cuerdas también. Y pues hicimos lo que teníamos que hacer, lo que teníamos planeado hacer para la pelea.
Yes, that was the plan of the fight from the get-go. You know, use the ring, fight in the center of the ring, use the ropes, and we did exactly that, what we prepared for.
Buenas noches, Canelo, por acá. Omar Pérez de Guadalajara. Oye, Saúl, más allá del resultado, se está hablando desgraciadamente de la tarjeta, pero ¿qué le dirías a la gente sobre la pelea que tú y Golovkin entregaron a un deporte que requería revitalizarse con un combate como este, más allá de que está tan cerrada que todo el mundo vio un marcador diferente?
Mira, yo creo que ya fuera del marcador o del empate, creo que esta pelea le dio al boxeo lo que necesitaba, credibilidad, y eso es lo más importante.
The question was, you know, you guys gave a tremendous fight, but going beyond the scorecards, what do you feel about the fight? And he says, look, the points put aside, we did and we gave boxing what it needed, a great fight tonight.
Saúl, Martín Navarro de Radio Metrópoli. ¿Habrá más peleas contra Golovkin? ¿Y gana la afición también con esta clase de pelea que hubo el día de hoy?
Sin duda, la afición es la que gana aquí, ¿no? Como lo digo, aparte del empate, ya la afición gana, y pues si la gente quiere ver un desempate, lo hacemos, ¿por qué no?
The question was, does the fans win? Does boxing win with a decision like this? And he says, absolutely. With this kind of fight, absolutely. Boxing wins, the fans win, and if the fans want to see it again, why not? They can see it again.
How you doing?
Straight back here, Canelo. That was a terrific fight, but we're obviously talking a lot about the scorecards. When you heard 118 to 110, what did you think? Did you think that you won it by that wide, or that was going to go in Triple G's favor?
No, realmente no me basé o me fijé en las tarjetas 110, 118. Yo lo que sí tenía en mente que había ganado la pelea, mínimo 8 rounds de la pelea. No, son los que gané, eso es lo que yo pensé durante toda la pelea.
Look, I didn't base it on a scorecard. I wasn't going round, taking points round by round, but what I am sure of at the end of the fight was that I won. I have no doubt about it in my mind. I won the fight.
Canelo, what part of the fight were you most proud of? Was it the final 3 rounds, the way you fought from 10 through 12?
Toda la pelea hice lo que tenía que hacer, hice lo que mi esquina me indicaba hacer, lo que trabajamos en el gimnasio, lo que hicimos en toda la preparación, lo hice, lo realicé, y estoy orgulloso de lo que hice esta noche.
I'm very honored, the whole fight, everything during the fight, because I did what we prepared for. I did what we trained in the gym. I did what my corner was telling me to do. So the whole fight, I'm very, very honored and proud of it.
And you spoke of, caring so much about boxing. It seems like it almost sets up perfectly for a rematch at Cinco de Mayo weekend. Is that what you want?
Pues ahorita voy a descansar. Voy a descansar el resto del año y ya nos sentaremos a platicar a ver qué es lo que viene.
Look, right now I want to take some time off. I want to rest the rest of the year. And then, yes, definitely, we'll sit down with our team and decide what's next.
Thank you.
Canelo,
What did you think of Golovkin's power? How does it compare with other fighters that you have faced?
Tiene el poder diferente a otros peleadores, ¿no? Pero no es el monstruo que decían que tenía una pegada temible, no, la verdad no sentí eso.
He has power. He has power. It's a different power than others I faced, but he's also not the monster that everybody was talking about. I didn't feel that.
Hi, Canelo. Congrats on a great performance. You know, Oscar said the plan is to exercise the rematch clause for another fight. After having 12 rounds to process Golovkin, how would you fight him differently, if at all?
He didn't say that.
Oscar didn't say he's going to exercise it. What he said is there is a rematch clause. Oscar said there is a rematch clause. He didn't say he's going to exercise it. The question was, is there a rematch clause? Oscar was answering, yes, there is a rematch clause. We're going to sit down with him, see what he wants to do. So that it might have been a misunderstanding, but there is a rematch clause.
Okay, well, anyway, if there is a rematch, how would you fight him differently, if at all?
Hice una pelea que me indicaron mi esquina, ¿no? Ya sería trabajar de diferente manera a lo que ellos me digan, trabajar y hacer una preparación, pero pues ya estamos hablando de cosas extras, ¿no? Ahorita hay que disfrutar de esta noche, una noche que esta pelea revivió el boxeo, una pelea que el público quedó contento y eso era lo que quería.
Look, I mean, I did what the corner indicated me to do. I executed the plan like we had planned, set it up from the beginning. For a future one, for another fight, well, we'll look back and see what the plan's going to be, what the strategy is going to be. But right now, you know what? I just want to enjoy this fight. We gave what the fans wanted, what they've been claiming for and waiting for, a beautiful fight.
Canelo, you seem to really hurt Gennady 30 seconds into the 10th round. Can you tell us what you were thinking at that point of the fight?
Quería noquearlo, esa es la verdad. Quería noquearlo, pero no tenía un peleador fácil enfrente. Tenía un peleador difícil, tenía un peleador fuerte, complicado y simplemente no pude en ese momento que lo tenía lastimado, ¿no? Pero mis ganas de noquearlo estaban ahí. Eso es lo que pensé en ese rato.
I wanted to knock him out. I wanted to finish it right there, but we gotta remember I didn't have just any opponent. I didn't have an easy opponent. I had a strong opponent, complicated, experienced, and it didn't unfold like that, like I would have wanted to.
How you doing? This question is for Canelo. How you doing? It's Coach Anthony. We're behind the gloves. Congratulations on your victory. I thought you won a very close fight, but you seem to have gotten tired at some point of the fight. And in previous fights, I also seen you it seems like you're getting tired. Is there something in your training that you're not doing that is causing you to not be able to fight a full 3 minutes? It seems like you fight in spots, you pick your shots, but a lot of the times you just don't look like you have that extra win we need to secure the round.
No, siempre hacemos una preparación bien, me he sentido bien. Es una fatiga normal cuando es una pelea de este tipo y más con un peleador como él, ¿no? Un peleador que siempre viene hacia el frente exigiendo pelea, es normal la fatiga, ¿no? Pero mis golpes siguen saliendo fuertes.
Look, we do everything in preparation. I don't think nothing's lacking there, but when you have a fight of this magnitude, of this level, of this intensity, you're going to get fatigued. That's normal. But I'm not to the point where my punches don't have power anymore. So that shows that my conditioning and my strength is still there.
Saúl, cuando saliste de los vestidores el público te ovacionó de gran manera, pero durante tu entrevista con HBO te estaban abucheando. ¿Cuál es tu comentario al respecto sobre cómo se voltearon hacia ti al final del combate?
No, ninguno. Creo que la gente puede reaccionar como se le dé la gana.
Saúl, felicidades. ¿Volverás a pelear en México en algún momento de tu carrera futuro?
No veo quién me hace la pregunta.
Sí.
Me encantaría, ¿por qué no? Me encantaría, no lo hemos pensado ahorita, me encantaría volver a pelear en México, porque no es mi país y para mí pelear en México es un orgullo.
The question was, would you consider fighting in Mexico once again? And the answer is yes, I would love to. I haven't thought about it right now, but I would love to. It's my country, and there's nothing that makes me prouder but to fight in Mexico. One more question, people, please. One more question.
Jorge Mille. Sorry. Canelo, congrats. It was a great performance, whatever the scores tonight. But would you be ready to fight again this year, or if a rematch happens, you're looking probably for next May?
No, voy a descansar el resto del año, ya sería para el próximo año, mayo o septiembre.
No, I'm going to rest. I mean, I'm going to rest the rest of the year, and we'll be fighting next year, May and September.
Saúl, Jorge Mille por acá. Ya dices que vas a descansar lo que resta del año. ¿Te gustaría iniciar el próximo año enfrentando nuevamente a Triple G o ves a Saunders como tu próximo rival?
Si la gente quiere ver la revancha, la hacemos, ¿no? Pero no sabemos si mayo o septiembre, como el desempate, perdón. Revancha. Sería, no sé si mayo o septiembre. Ahorita vamos a descansar, no tengo cabeza para pensar ahorita si en mayo o septiembre o con quién. Ahorita voy a descansar, disfrutar de esta noche. Y disfrutar la era del Canelo todavía.
The question was, would you fight next year in May or September? Would you fight the second fight with Gennady in May? He says, look, right now I want to rest. Whatever the fans want, whatever the people want and ask for, we'll do. You know that's my style. But right now, who knows?
Oh, we see all your tweets. We see all your comments on Facebook. And as Steve Kim and I were talking about, have you checked your mentions yet? No, I am scared to see what's going on. Beth Duran, Steve Kim, and Doug Fisher. Doug and I were on the online broadcast for this, along with the Flashing Flush former world champion Kevin Kelly. I did the play-by-play. Steve was sitting right next to us. And when the decision came down, draw, we all looked at each other. I mean, we worked with each other a lot. We know each other very well. Steve, I'm going to start with you because you're so fired up. You kept your tie on.
Well, no. I'm fit to be tied,
Oh.
like most of the public. I thought it was a good fight. Now, we have to keep this in mind. Let's not let one scorecard of Adelaide Byrd completely take over the story, although she is a story within itself.
Yes.
I believe the consensus is that Golovkin won 7 rounds to 5. That was my scorecard. Most people had it within that range. Now, if you flip over a round or two, that is 6-6.
Right.
But Adelaide Byrd, once again, took, it's like a fine art, and you take Rust-Oleum, spray paint, and you just put it all over, and her signature.
I love
is
your
on
analogies.
this
I'm trying to see where
event.
you're going with this one.
Because
Rust-Oleum.
because I think she ruined some fine art. Now, with that said, I think both guys come out with a measure of respect. I thought it was a very good fight. And for Golovkin, while it's his first blemish on his record as a draw, it certainly beats the loss. And I think he comes out ahead in public opinion.
Gennady Golovkin, Saul Canelo Alvarez went at it. 12 excellent rounds at the T-Mobile Arena right now. As we're learning, there's a club inside the T-Mobile Arena.
Hey, it's
the
party time.
Press conference just finished behind us. You heard everybody talking, and look, we don't have to give you all the details. You guys are watching us right now on ringtv.com because you're hardcore fight fans and you want to get as much information as possible. Doug, we were able to catch a glimpse of what happened in that press conference. Oscar De La Hoya said that they have a rematch clause, but cleared it up that they're not going to enforce it right away.
Doesn't mean they're going to enforce it. Absolutely.
And Canelo saying that he's going to take some time off. He's essentially a 2-fight-a-year
He's
guy.
been that way since at least 2013, 2012. He's a pay-per-view star. And in the modern era, pay-per-view stars only fight twice. And his 2 dates, and you made this very clear when Floyd Mayweather retired for the first time, he said, I'm taking over. I'm taking back Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day weekends. For Mexico, for me, those are my pay-per-view dates. So he only fights in May and in September
Yeah, I mean,
each year.
Doug, he's basically what Oscar De La Hoya was in the last third of his career. He's going to fight, like you said, first week of May, third week of September, and those are the dates. But that was a physically grueling fight for both guys. But Canelo Alvarez, at age 27, looking at that press conference, he ran a marathon. I mean, that was a physically tough, hard, grueling fight. And the question then becomes, with Gennady Golovkin being age 35, what did that fight take out of him physically? What's left in his gas tank?
That was the most taxing fight I've seen of Gennady Golovkin because when I came onto the scene watching Triple G, he was blowing people out.
He was a steamroller.
First time I saw him in public was Rubio at the Forum. I'm like, wow. Went over that guy, and that's what he's been doing, except for Danny Jacobs. But tonight, the first time you see him marked up, not bad, but you saw glimpses of where Canelo was landing some big shots.
Well, you saw a man in Canelo Alvarez who was viewed as the fighter coming up in weight, definitely the fighter who was unproven as a legitimate middleweight, stand his ground and exchange effectively with Golovkin, at least the first minute of many of the rounds in the center of the ring. And Canelo was loading up and jacking that head back of Golovkin. Now, in March, we saw Danny Jacobs go 12 rounds, but he was fighting off the back foot. He was moving a lot. In many ways, boxing in a way just to go 12 rounds. Canelo at least started the first half of the fight like he was coming out to prove something, to make a statement, and to hurt Golovkin. Problem is, Golovkin's chin is unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a granite chin. And over the second half of the fight, it was that pressure, it was the consistency, the offensive consistency that we saw from Golovkin, which is why I think the majority of the ringside press scored that fight 7-5 for Golovkin, or maybe 8-4 for Triple G.
Now, just let me look at some of these comments right now, and people are getting fired up. I'm looking at the Facebook page. I'm still, like I said, I was still trying to learn how to use the Facebook. I got a bunch of other stuff. I like this one from Sean Chris. You miss 100% of the punches you don't take. All right, there you go.
It's an old Michael Jordan line, by the way.
Rodney RG, Triple G hit him 5 good times. Okay.
I think it was a little more than 5 times.
Manuel, Canelo wins 100% the next time. Canelo, obviously, this is the Golden Boy Facebook page, so you can see that.
But you know what? I think that might be a somewhat popular opinion, because if you take into account the Danny Jacobs fight and then this fight, I think a lot of people, even people who thought Triple G won tonight, even people who are diehard Golovkin supporters and fans, they might admit he's either plateaued or has begun to slide a little bit at age 35.
I have one question to Abel Sanchez I'd like to ask him. What happened to the body attack There used to be a time when his left hook to the body, and it's hard to miss to the body. You can block or deflect punches if your elbows are tucked in, but you stay in contact and you stay on balance. I thought a lot of times, a couple hours ago, that Canelo did a nice job of moving his upper body, evading a lot of punches. Golovkin did a nice job of not overreaching with the right hand, so he kept distance, understanding a counter punch may have been coming. But Mexican style really is a template for Julio Cesar Chavez. Left hooks were his game. I thought
that was his bread and butter.
The last couple of fights, I do think Golovkin's over-relied on two things. Number one is chin to get into scraps, and number two, punches over the top.
Right. Yeah, you know what? I think if you're a Golovkin critic, and there is a legion of them out there, you will say that against second-tier fighters or B-rated fighters, he was able to employ that body attack. He was able to bully them to the ropes, and then he would kill them to the body. But his last two fights, he's been fighting A-level fighters. He's been fighting fellow elite middleweights, and maybe that shows because they're not standing in front of him. They're moving. They're employing some lateral movement. And Canelo is a pretty darn good fighter off the ropes.
Loved all the interaction on the Facebook that we've had all week long, the Golden Boy social media pages, on the YouTube, the Instagram, and all the ringtv.com coverage. I'm looking at some of this. Manny Pacquiao tweeted that they bring the judges over from Australia.
Did he really?
That's a good one.
He really did.
According to our producer, Will Wright, that's what the tweet came through. Also, I did see this one. Sergio Maravilla, the Argentinian, said the only loser tonight, Adelaide Bird.
Yeah, you know, and I like that. That's good from Sergio Martinez. You know, the sad thing about that 118, 110 scorecard is that people are going to focus on that after we had 12 rounds of quality boxing, of power boxing, of clean fighting. I mean,
Doug, we still
the referee, Kenny Bayless, was not even a factor. That shows it was a good, clean boxing match. It was compelling. It was competitive. There was drama. And honestly, I wonder if Adelaide Bird's scorecard was for Canelo, but it was 115, 113, if there would be as much controversy. I don't think so. Exactly.
No, we got done.
She screwed up.
We were ringside about 4 rows back, and everybody was standing up in the arena. I looked around, you and I. This was a fantastic fight. Fun. Is it going to go down as one of the best ever? No, but it was fun. And considering we've had some trash recently, this is exactly what you want.
But Beto, this goes back to precedent and track record. With Adelaide Bird, she seems to be the modern-day Dalby Shirley, you can't be serious. Now, I read a tweet that she was part of a horrendous UFC scorecard. I give her credit. She is consistent. And so is Bob Bennett, who's taking bullets for all his people but won't actually do his job as the executive director. All I could say is, where have you gone, Mark Ratner? This seems to be a real pattern here. But with that said, it was a good fight, though. I mean, I think the fight itself delivered. There's certainly a market for a rematch. Now, I'm going to ask Tom Loeffler when I could reach him. Their plan was if they would have, let's say, won this fight, they wanted to come back December the 2nd or the 9th. Now, if there is a public mandate for a rematch, which I believe there is, and this is by far the best payday Golovkin's going to get at this age, do you bypass a fight in December and wait all the way till May? I think those are some of the decisions that Tom Loeffler now has upon him.
And a factor in that, an element in that question is, if he does come back in December, who does he fight?
Yeah.
16th of September, Mexican Independence Day. Cinco de Mayo, when they beat up the French. And Canelo Alvarez looked marked up.
Yeah, there are some marks.
This was a fight.
This fight trending worldwide. Canelo Triple G. Also Adelaide Bird is trending. As they say in baseball, you never want to know who the umpires are. You want them to be out of sight, out of mind. Well, today, we want to talk about this. We're going to be honest with you. That's how we are. We're straight up with you. This was a fun fight to work. Doug and I had a great time on the broadcast. Steve Kim was sitting right next to us working. But when we heard the scores, it just left that, and it goes back, and you see some of these comments, boxing's corrupt. These judges are paid off.
That's not fair. It's not fair to the sport of boxing.
It takes away from what Canelo did and what Triple G did today.
It hurts Canelo. I think Triple G made some fans here. There were people who came into this fight cheering for Canelo, had the Canelo headbands. They were chanting his name. And then after the fight, they were booing during his post-fight interview with Max Kellerman on HBO. That's not fair to Canelo because I think he put forth one of the best, if not the best, performance of his professional career.
I look at this situation, and is this the worst robbery of all time? Now, I still remember as a young man living in Montebello, Jose Luis Ramirez getting absolutely outboxed by Pernell Whitaker and Lou Duva almost having a heart attack for the third time on national TV out there in France. There have been Whitaker Chavez is the one time I said I'm never watching boxing again.
That was a controversial draw.
4 days later, the Sports Illustrated cover of Pernell Whitaker just said Rob, and I was satisfied with that. I said, you know what? That's my pound of flesh. This was really one bad scorecard. Now, again, I disagree. I don't think you could have given Canelo Alvarez 7 or 8 rounds. But I know you couldn't have given him 10, but I think you could give him 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Canelo put forth a very strong effort, took some big shots, and I think he proved one thing. He is a legitimate middleweight.
This Ring TV broadcast is run by Golden Boy Promotions. We are paid with Oscar De La Hoya's signature, and we get money from them. All 3 of us had Triple G winning. This is objective for you guys.
Right.
If they don't fight Cinco de Mayo, does anybody even care?
No, that's the fight that has to. There's nobody else out there.
You can't run from each other. Cinco de Mayo, they better be fighting each other.
Who else is out
I mean,
there?
I'll still broadcast that fight. Don't worry. I'm going to take your money, Oscar. But, I mean, Cinco de Mayo, if they don't fight each other, I don't want to see him against Billy Joe Saunders.
Right.
I don't want to see Miguel Cotto.
No. And
fight each other again.
Listen,
Get it right. Give me an
as
answer.
Danny Jacobs is, I don't want to see a rematch with Golovkin and Jacobs before I see a rematch between Golovkin and Canelo. You know why? Because I think Golovkin versus Canelo is a better fight.
It was. I agree with you.
And it's a bigger fight. It makes money, so it makes sense in this
You
sport.
have so
and
much
business of
momentum
boxing.
going in the sport of how good it's going. It's build up September. Your Peanuts calendar is all filled up with good stuff.
A lot of ink.
Next Saturday, Jorge Linares and Campbell at the Forum. You don't build on that. Go from it, not go backwards and avoid each other.
And also a programming reminder on the behalf of HBO. The replay of that fight that we just saw will be on with Linares Campbell and, of course, Antonio Orozco taking on Roberto Ortiz. And as someone who was there, I always like to see the big fights again twice when I get home, see if I get a different perspective. I'm getting widely disparate opinions about the first 4 rounds. There are people that thought that Canelo swept the first 4.
I'm
was
one
up
of them.
3-1.
You're sitting with one of those people.
Personally, I thought round 1 had to go to Canelo. Round 2 I thought was very close. But I thought from round 3, Doug, Gennady Golovkin, as he would say, he felt Canelo, gauged his speed and his power. Then he started to up the tempo, close the distance. And I thought from that point on till about 9, I thought it was very hard to give Canelo a lot of rounds.
I thought Golovkin swept rounds 5 through 11. But there were, I made note of some close
See, now
rounds.
that's interesting because out of the last 3 rounds, I gave Canelo 10 and 12. While all 3,
You're a nice guy.
Yeah, all 3.
I scored 12 for Canelo.
And all 3 judges gave it a sweep for Saul Alvarez.
Interesting.
So maybe this judging thing, it's not that easy, especially if you're out of late bird.
Man, I'm log off the Facebook, man. You guys are wired up.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
boxing fans get
that's why
hyped, they get angry, they're passionate.
That's why I don't do Facebook. That's why I just read your mailbag, man. This is how do you end this right here? I can't wait to see Doug's
I'm going to have a
mailbag
long
on
Sunday
Monday.
night.
Well, without a doubt, Las Vegas has been fantastic all week long. Started on Tuesday with the grand arrivals. Great job by the Golden Boy Digital Squad getting it all done. The Golden Boy Media and Entertainment Department, the social media crew, everybody from the runners to the backbone, the IFBs, everybody. Yeah, the IFBs are the things we wear. They held up throughout the week. And, of course, Oscar De La Hoya, founder and a Hall of Famer of Golden Boy Promotions, David Tatro, Vice President for the Media and Entertainment Department, Executive Vice President Scott Tatro is the Vice President, also Vice President Will Wright leading the ship, and everybody around the world that watched the online pay-per-view. Doug and I were on it. Go and check out Fight TV. They're actually streaming it, and you can go and see that fight there at all the undercards. So on a night where you see Joseph Diaz Jr. improve his record, he stays undefeated.
25-0.
25-0. Diego De La Hoya beat Randy Caballero. And then Ryan Blue Chip Martin had a tough scrap, got the victory. And if you want to see a heck of a knockout, check out Virgil Ortiz on the Golden Boy social media pages. Kid out of Dallas, Texas, with a gut punch that ended his fight in the 2nd round. So we're here in Las Vegas. Do you guys want final thoughts? I'm going to give Steve Kim final thoughts. Boom.
Final thoughts are I thought the fight in many ways lived up to the billing. We needed to have truth in advertising, that a pay-per-view fight lived up to its actual promises. For the most part, it delivered. Now, I do know this. Most of the American public and the worldwide audience disagree with what took place. But as Larry Merchant told us a couple of weeks ago, what he wanted to have happen is in the middle of the fight for him to say, when can we see this again? At least to a certain degree, we got that mission accomplished.
And I think we saw, I agree with that. And my parting thought is, let's get the rematch done. And you know what? Let's put Texas in the running. AT&T Stadium.
Well,
I don't know if
Cinco
it
de
was
Mayo
ever-
is on a Saturday
There
in
you go.
2018.
Let's make it big. Let's do it big. Let's do it in
100,000?
Texas. 90,000 at least. AT&T
I'm
Stadium.
going to call Jerry Jones on Monday. I'm going to call him.
There's no football in May. I mean, we can go and do that. Why not do it? Producer Sean Hendricks, everybody did a great job there. The graphics, like I said, can't say enough about our squad. Luis Gonzalez, excellent as always. I don't know how many jobs he has here for Golden Boy, but he has one too many, I'll tell you that much. Brenda and Jess, our stage manager, Jessica Rosales, also doing excellent work, our roving reporter. So everybody involved, I think I got everybody. If I didn't, I will see you personally. And we'll talk to you soon. And when will we talk to you? Steve Kim will have a podcast on Monday.
Yes,
right?
and probably Wednesday. And I believe we got Between the Ropes on Tuesday. Do we not, Louis?
Oh, see? Oh, now
that's
now
right.
Luis Gonzalez is a scheduler? He's a scheduler, too.
Yes.
All right.
Months in advance, by the way.
And Doug Fisher, your mailbag, you're going to start working on right now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Monday and Friday.
How
It's
many,
going to be a mega
how many
mailbag.
emails do you think you're getting?
1,000.
Okay. If you want to make the mailbag, go to sleep. Relax.
Keep it short. You have a better chance of making it in there. Keep it short.
And paragraph.
I know you're fired up, but
Yeah.
keep it short. Be concise, people.
Paragraphs are good if you want to write to Doug's mailbag and check it out. Now, if you just want to fire off, use the Twitter, no problem. But once again, can't say enough thank you to you, the fans. Without you guys, we are not here in Las Vegas for this fight. A draw, it went down. Adelaide Bird had a 118-110. Canelo, the judge, had a 115-113. Gennady Golovkin, then the 114 all. That was the draw. So Canelo Alvarez fights in Las Vegas the 8th time in his career. This time he gets a draw. His only loss in his career on Mexican Independence Weekend. That was against Floyd Mayweather. Regardless, though, this one is for the fans. So thank you for everybody. On behalf of my partners, Doug Fisher, Steve Kim, I'm Beth Duran. Thank you for watching Golden Boy Productions, Media and Entertainment Department on Ring TV.